Well, welcome everyone to Best Way to Plan for Growth During Market Volatility, our webcast from the Controllers Council. My name is Neil Brown. I'm the Executive Director of the Controllers Council. And again, welcome. And I'd like to welcome our experts from Insight Software, the Best Way to Plan for Growth During Market Volatility webcast. Here is our two presenters, Josh Schauer, who's Director of Finance, so he's in a similar role as those of you attending, and then Tim Caudle, Director of Solutions Engineering for Insight Software. Gentlemen, take it away.
Yeah, thanks, Neil. So this is Josh Schauer talking. I'll give a quick background on myself and then pass it over to Tim. So my background originated in accounting, but for about the last 9 years, I've been further on the finance end of the spectrum. So I've been running the finance function for 4 different organizations over that span, and that obviously includes leading the budgeting and forecasting process. So most of my experience is in the software industry with private equity backers, and the companies that I've worked for have all been heavily involved in rapid M&A. So being heavily involved in M&A obviously can create some real challenges with respects to budgeting and forecasting both efficiently and effectively, while also maintaining the need for dynamic reporting and analysis that our private equity backers and our lending group require. So many of the challenges that you are all facing are challenges that I've encountered as well, or potentially are even currently in the middle of encountering, and they're challenges that our products seek to help resolve.
Thanks, Josh. This is Tim Caudle, and thanks everyone for attending. And I'll give a little brief overview of my background. Started out much like Josh did in accounting, and then led some finance teams for International Paper and Thomson Reuters. Through those experiences, I picked up a lot of understanding of the need of IT in the finance organization. And that naturally led to the next phase of my career of implementing software solutions like the software solutions we provided Insight Software in probably over 100 different implementations. And so now my job is talking about the software and helping people understand how it can plug into their world and help make their lives better and equip them to do things like what we're talking about today, keep up with volatility in the fast changing world that we live in. And so kind of merging that background of finance and accounting with IT over the years has been pretty exciting, and we're excited today to talk to you about the way we've equipped folks like yourselves to do things a little bit faster, a little bit quicker, a little bit better. Okay. So for an agenda, we already got one in the books, the introduction. So we've met the presenters. I will talk a little bit about Insight Software. There's some interesting finance trends that we want to share with you. Some challenges that have been identified for investment prioritization and things of that nature. We're going to talk about an agile continuous approach to forecasting in a case study about how we've used our software to help folks like yourselves achieve some of these things, okay? Just quickly a word about who we are at Insight Software, just to kind of level set and start to communicate what we do. We're focused on the needs of the office of CFO. So we're a software company that's hyper aware of what the CFO needs to run a world-class operation and provide solutions to help them. And the thing that we all know in finance is that, you know, we go to school, we build all these skills to be great partners of the business, right? Great consultants to the business. But we end up spending a lot of our time, creating spreadsheets, doing non-value add repetitive tasks. And so that's no longer acceptable in the marketplace. And it's really become a differentiator to great organizations to be a better collaborator with the business, to offer more timely information, to cut down on that error-prone, manual, often spreadsheet-generated methodology for finance activities, and speed things up. And we've helped over 25,000 customers around the globe to do that, automating their processes for reporting, planning, consolidations, some capital management things, and have the ability to increase by up to 50% in some cases the time it takes to do their tasks, to do reporting, to do budgeting, to do planning. And so we want to provide software, and really everything that we do as a company is aimed at equipping finance folks, accounting folks, office of the CFO to make better and quicker decisions, to more accurately predict growth, which is what we're going to talk about a little bit today, and develop meaningful insights that are actionable for the business, and really become a partner, not the person that just sends a spreadsheet that someone rolls their eyes and has to fill out every couple months, but someone that people come to help make great, timely decisions based on access to data. Because really the CFO is a place where all of the data flows up into, and it's a real natural place to use as a center of decisions with the business, okay? So we're focused on the 3 functional areas of the CFO, as I said before. And so one of the interesting things about Insight is we have many, many different softwares, and they're modular. So you don't have to buy a big rocket ship if you have one pain point. And there's a really quick time to value story. So maybe you have some financial reporting needs that you need to take care of. We can start there. Or maybe it's FP&A based budgeting and planning. So we can start with your greatest need, your biggest pain point, and then layer on other things like automated dynamic consolidation and close, or some working capital insights under the capital management area. So the idea here is, because of our focus in the Office of CFO, everything we do and everything we offer solves those problems. And we generally have an answer for you when things come up in your organization. If you have an initiative, or if volatility becomes, moves things at a pace that's too fast for your current processes to handle, we generally have a solution for that. And it's been fun as an organization to be able to provide answers to our customers in one place. Okay.
Yeah, and Tim, I think if you could go back really quick, I think one thing that's been brought to light here, while each of the functional areas are modular, as you put it, it is very important to understand the downstream impact of how each of these respective functions relates to the other respective functions. So while the controllership pillar here, you likely have a controller that is overseeing that, and then the FP&A pillar, you likely have someone else that's overseeing that. It's important to understand how an improvement in one area can automatically cause improvements in others. So, for example, if you have cleaner working capital all the way on the left side, that will lead to a cleaner close process, and subsequently lead to not only cleaner, but also more predictive and accurate forecasts. So, with the specific focus on forecasting as well as budgeting and planning, it's vital that you have timely and accurate data that's feeding your numbers, or you run the risk of making reactive or ill-informed decisions that could be detrimental to the company.
Yep. All right, so we're going to jump into some financial trend survey, but I think before that we're going to have a poll question, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a poll you guys get to participate in. What's the greatest challenge you face in your budgeting and planning processes? So we'll give you a couple seconds to answer that question. It's always interesting to do these polls and see how they line up with some of the market research they've done. Generally they do. So we'll see if this holds true. All right. So manual and time-consuming processes, and frankly, folks, I'm not surprised. And lack of resources really dovetails with that, right? Your resources are getting drugged down in those manual processes. I'm sure those two are connected. Data accessibility is huge, and sharing. So this tracks with things that we see, Josh. I think you would agree with that. That first one, 54% manual and time-consuming processes. No surprise here. We're doing things in Excel. As businesses grow, it just becomes quicksand, and so that tracks with what I've seen in the marketplace. And Josh, I think you probably agree with that.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Tim. And I think, as you alluded to, a lack of resources and manual and time-consuming processes go hand in hand, right? Where if you're able to automate some of those manual and time-consuming processes, you may find that you are not lacking resources. It may be just a matter of being able to utilize those resources in more efficient manners.
Right on.